Hey, it's MK and I am back with another Off the Board Christmas in July edition, and I picked out this adorable little tree ring Christmas repurposing card ornament. So I picked out all of my Santa cards so that way I could put them on these little tree rings that were actually a 50-50 purchase. So my girlfriend and I went in halvesies. And when we found out how many of these tree rings we were going to get, this is how many that I got. And that's only half of them. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad we went 50-50 on this instead of actually getting to, I bought one, she bought one, because I would be knee deep in tree rings and not have a clue what to do with them. So they already come with a really cool little hole drilled inside them, so I don't have to worry about that. And they're good thickness for an ornament, but I wouldn't say they were good thickness for a scrapbook page. So just to let you guys know, these would also make really cool because once I put the paper over the tree ring, they would actually make really good magnets for your refrigerator or anything like that. So if you have any other images, like say a scenery image that has absolutely nothing to do with Christmas, that would still make really cool magnets. Or you could use these as keychains if you were into the big bulky keychains. I used to be. I really did. I used to be so big into the keychains that I had to get, like I actually had my keys on one ring and all my keychains a little bit farther down, so that way I had space on, in my pocket, and I jingled. Oh my, the things I used to be into. But anyways, I'm sorry. But yes, they are a really good quality tree ring. And I just purchased them off of Amazon. Actually, my girlfriend did, and I paid for half of them. And that was it. So I'm not sure if I will be able to find the link or not, because like I said, these are the weird things that she thinks of. And I don't know exactly if she was thinking ornament or if she was thinking tree ring keychain as well. She's very big into keychains and car charms and things like that. So she loves the home decor DIY stuff. So this is right up her alley. And what makes it a pretty cool gift, or you can even give it as a set, a set for those that really are into Santa. So what I did was I took each tree ring is unique in itself. So I took each tree ring, picked out a card where I felt like it matched the most, and traced out as much as I could, because as you can tell on my desk, the bark from the tree ring is actually falling off. It's flaking off. It's not coming off, like I can't just peel it right off, but it is flaking. So it does kind of make a mess in your scrapbook room. But I think once it is completely done and the project is over with, and it sits with the rest of your ornaments for your tree or whatever you choose to do this with, I don't think it's going to fall off that much. Now, if you happen to use this as a keychain, which still, that thought just makes me giggle, it might flake off even more, because keychains are used and abused big time. They're the most used and abused object out there other than money, right? So I also have to say that if you use it as a car charm, now a car charm is one of those little things that hang off your rearview mirror, and it's just this really pretty little thing. Some of them are sun catchers, some of them are, pinwheel, movie thingies, where the wind catches them and they spin around, but not necessarily wheels, right? It makes an image that makes it look like a bird's flying or, something like that. So anyways, I know what they are. I just don't know what they're called. Things like that. So most of the car charms that I have seen are like that. Some of them are also like really cute little sayings, that match the personality of the person in the car, stuff like that. Or if they're baseball fans, things like that. So I think that the bark on these would be okay, considering they're just hanging there. But if they're being handled quite a bit, I think the bark is going to continue to fall off, and then eventually you'll just have a bare tree ring, which I still think is really cool. I'm a big fan of anything wood grain, period. So what I'm doing is, like I said, I traced, I'm cutting, but then I have to go through and recut because I want to see that little sliver of wood behind my photo or behind my picture that I'm doing. Oh, these would be cute with photos too. I just thought of that. Bing. As cute little gifts for grandma or, grandparents or anything like that. But what I'm doing is I want to see the wood grain. So I'm just taking where I can't see it and trimming it off and going back and seeing if it looks good and whatnot and coming back in. Now, when I first started this project, I thought I really wanted to distress the edges of my cards, and I opted not to. I really like the fact that they're nice and smooth and stuck right on there. Now, I did use quite a bit of my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to adhere the cards to the wood grain because I didn't want them to peel up over time. I wanted it to be sealed onto the piece of wood entirely, but I didn't want to have to go use like Mod Podge or any kind of sealant because of the fact that I didn't want to take away from the shine that was already in the cards. Now, like you could see that really old card where the Santa is popped up. His little ornaments that he's hanging up are very sparkly. They've got like a foil on them, and if I would have used a sealant of some sort, the foil would have disappeared. So you definitely wouldn't have been able to get that effect if I would have sealed the cards to the wood tree rings. I'm also using these are scraps of ribbon, you guys. I've got some what is called seam binding ribbon, and then this one here is, I don't know. Oh, it's a ribbon that I dyed. So it started out white, and I actually dyed this ribbon for a specific project that I was doing back in the day when I used to teach classes. I used to do scrapbook workshops and teach the gals, different techniques and whatnot. And this was one of the techniques, was to dye your ribbon. So that way, if you were definitely a matchy kind of person, especially when it comes to close to my heart and they have all those exclusive inks, you would just buy white. And then you can dye it any color you want, but you have to be careful because sometimes, especially like this cotton ribbon that I used here, sometimes if you go and run it under water and rinse it out, only the portion of the ink that is its base portion, like say black, if its base is purple, that's the color you're going to get. The black will wash off. But yeah, other than that, I would just buy white ribbon and use your reinkers to, color up the ribbon the way that you want it, and then also too heat set it. Heat set it is definitely the way to go. What I do is I let the ribbon dry completely after I've soaked it into the ink for quite a while. I let it soak overnight, I let it dry overnight, and then I heat set it to make sure that the ink is not going to rub off on anything like the adjacent page or bleed through whatever it might be peeking underneath of, anything like that. So anyways, that was the project that we did way back in the day. Oh my gosh, that was several years ago, and I still had a remnant of that. I don't throw anything away, you guys. It's seriously, I need to, I need to get out of that habit, and not just throw it away, but move it on. Throw away is a horrible word, but moving on, give it a new home, a new purpose is way better. So this is a ribbon here that was in my Paper Pumpkin kit. Now, I used to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, and what that is, I probably don't have enough time to explain it, but it's a card kit from Stampin' Up! And I used to repurpose it and use all the little embellishments and all the little things to have a cute little embellishment kit. And I mean by little is because they only gave you enough to do about 6 to 9 cards, somewhere in there. And it depended on the holiday and the theme and all that stuff. But 6 to 9 cards, and I would get this teeny tiny little embellishment kit. And everything else, I repurposed the cards, again, fussy cut, great bases, things like that. And I did all that, but then they started going into a direction that I wasn't into anymore. So I canceled my subscription and just pay attention to it every now and then to see if I ever want to subscribe again. All right, that is all that I have for Off the Board Christmas in July. These were so quick, so super, so easy, and so fun to do. Very cute kids craft for sure. If you guys have, like I said, even a calendar. Oh my gosh, a repurposed calendar and all those images put on these wood grains would be awesome. And they don't have to be ornaments. They can be, car charms. They can be magnets. They can be anything per se. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will check y'all later. Bye.